The United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas. They're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out and they want to start all over again. This moment again pursuing their sinister ambition.
Tensions with Iran are escalating as the United States ramps up military deployments across the Middle East. Secretary of State Marco Rubio delivered a rare classified briefing to top congressional leaders on Iran's strategy. The closed-door session with the Gang of Eight focused on intelligence and potential U.S. military options. Rubio and CIA Director John Ratcliffe reportedly outlined the administration's posture to U.S. lawmakers. After the briefing, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said that the situation was serious and that the administration needed to make its case to the American people. It came just hours before President Donald Trump addressed the nation in a high-stakes State of the Union speech. Trump said that Iran would never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon under his watch. He claimed Tehran is working on ballistic missiles that could eventually reach the United States. The president said Iran already possesses missiles capable of threatening Europe and U.S. bases overseas. At the same time, Trump signaled diplomacy remains possible, saying negotiations with Iran are underway. He insisted Tehran has not yet uttered what he called the sacred phrase renouncing nuclear weapons.
As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer.
Meanwhile, a second U.S. aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, has arrived in the region. The expanded naval presence marks the largest U.S. military buildup there since the Iraq War era. Trump has warned that if no deal is reached, the U.S. may take the confrontation a step further. He has reportedly considered a limited strike to underscore seriousness at the negotiating table.
For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb. And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protesters. 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons, yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective.
This comes as high-stakes talks between U.S. and Iranian negotiators are scheduled to take place in Geneva on February 26th. Iran has said it is prepared to reach a deal as soon as possible. However, Tehran remains firm on strictly limiting the scope of these discussions.
What is the issue between America and Iran? This confrontation that has existed, it's been over 40 years that Iran and America have been enemies. What is this issue? In my opinion, the issue can be summed up in 2 words, and those 2 words are America wants to swallow Iran. However, the courageous and resilient Iranian nation, alongside the steadfast Islamic Republic, are actively working together to prevent this from happening through their unwavering determination and strength. I'm not pessimistic. I told you about this before. I went to propose marriage and you ask, is everything settled? The issue comes down to just 2 words. I say, we want your daughter, and they reply, you have no right. Now the Iranian nation has told the other side, you have no right, meaning the Iranian nation's fault is this very issue. The dispute is over this matter. In Iran, your country, there are many attractions. Iran's oil is an attraction. Iran's gas is an attraction. Iran's rich mines are an attraction. Iran's strategic and geographical position is an attraction. There are many other characteristics as well. Iran is a country that a greedy, aggressive power would naturally covet. It is only natural that they set their sights on it. Iran is such a country. They want to take over this country, just as they had occupied it before. For more than 30 years, the Americans were in Iran. The resources were in their hands. The oil was in their hands. Politics was in their hands. Security was in their hands. Relations with the world were in their hands. Everything was in their hands, and they did whatever they wanted. For 30 years, it was in their hands, then it was cut off, and now they want to come back and have the same situation as during the Pahlavi era.